friends, welcome to Ru's Kitchen and Garden. So Diwali is just a few days away and I was making my besan laddu and I happened to post a picture on Facebook, and some of my friends wanted to know how I make my besan laddu. So it's a very, so when I say easy, people laugh at me because they think it's not easy. So let's not get into easy or hard, let's just show you the way I make my besan laddus. So let's go and see the ingredients. Let's look at the ingredients. We need 2 cups of besan. We need 1 cup of sugar and we need 1 cup of ghee. When I say 1 cup, it has to be thin like that, not the hard ghee. So thin ghee 1 cup. Then you need around 1 to 2 teaspoons of cardamom powder. This should be 2 teaspoons. Then you need 1/3 cup of water, plain water, and nuts of your choice. So around 10 almonds, cashews. I've taken some melon seeds here. You can even add or skip raisins as per your choice. Now the thing about besan is there are many types of besan. Many types as in there are 2 types basically of besan. One is a fine besan and one is a, let me move this around, one is a coarse besan or laddu besan, also known as laddu besan. So the trick here, people ask me, how do you get grainy structure or grainy texture, to your laddus? The key ingredient is your besan should be coarse and not fine. So now how will you find coarse besan is, if you're in India, it's very easy. Just go ask the shopkeeper for laddu besan. If you're not in India like me, then in Singapore there are 2 brands that have this coarse besan. One is Rajdhani and one is Devaya. They both have laddu besan mentioned on their packet. Don't go by the picture, because even the fine besan has laddu picture, but that's not what you're looking for. We're looking for coarse besan. And just in case if you all don't find coarse besan, then I will also tell you a trick to make grainy texture looking laddus with your normal fine besan. So now let's move on to our next step. First basic and very important step in making besan laddu is roasting the besan. Now what some people do is add the ghee and the besan together. That takes a lot of time. You will just be roasting. So if you want to use a shortcut, which I normally do, is first roast the besan at least till half away, and then add your ghee to it. That way you will shorten the process of roasting. Now roasting is very important. Now people ask questions, or sometimes people say, oh, my besan laddu stick to the palate. The palate is the top area of the tongue, above the tongue. So if your besan laddu while eating gets stuck to your teeth and all, that's fine, because the dental structure is touched. But it should not get stuck to the smooth palate of yours. If that happens, that means you've not roasted the besan flour nicely. So roasting is a very important step. It requires patience. So please don't hurry this step. So my trick here is, first just roast the besan without ghee. Okay? And then we will add ghee. Alright. Now look at the color of this besan, and I'll show you how long or how much we have to roast this. Now I've dry roasted this for almost 10 minutes and I'm going to add my ghee. Now when you're adding ghee, do not add all the ghee, keep some reserve, okay, some spare. So around 1/4 cup I'll keep spare, and I will use it as and when I feel it's required. Now if you are roasting it on a gas flame, then you have to roast it from medium to low flame patiently. And like me, if you're doing it on an induction, then the temperature, the setting is 4 to 5. That's it. 4 to 5 or medium to low flame is your friend. And do not leave this alone and go and chit chat with people. This requires constant care and attention. It's very needy. So you see the color now, it's yellowish, so you need to keep roasting it. So I will again let you know the time. So I roasted it 10 minutes without the ghee, then I added the ghee to fasten the hasten the process of roasting. Yeah, so quicken the process of roasting. So now I'm again roasting it and waiting for the color to change and the aroma to come. The flame is medium to low or 4 to 5. Okay, now this has been roasting, the color has changed. Now if you didn't use a coarse flour like I said to begin with, and if you used a fine one, how will you make it grainy? So I have some saffron milk here. You can use plain water. So just sprinkle little bit saffron water on your basin and you see how it starts getting grainy, right? So sprinkle little bit, not too much, just sprinkle little bit water this way while you're roasting it towards the end of the process, yeah? And then you see how your laddu, how your basin will become grainy. So I had this little saffron milk here, so I'm using that. You can use water. Alright, now this is done. My gas is switched off now. All the rawness has gone out. I will switch the light off and show you the true color. But before that, let me add some cardamom powder to this and also the nuts that we want to use. Okay, I'm just going to add it in. Keep a container ready in which you're going to store this, as in keep this to cool down, right? So let me just switch off the light here and show you the color. Alright, so this is the color from where we started to where we are now. It's become a little dark brown. Sorry, yeah, dark yellow, sorry, not brown. Don't roast it till it burns, it'll taste bitter. Okay, so I will tell you the exact time that I have roasted it for, and I've roasted it for around 40 minutes, 35 to 40 minutes, yes. And I have 1/4 cup spare of ghee remaining. So we've not used the entire 1 cup. We used around 3/4 cup. Alright. Now I'm going to transfer this into a bowl for it to cool down. The next step is to make the tagar. We have transferred the basin into a bowl and we leave it there. Now tagar is bhura or sugar syrup powder. It's this is what gives it like the halwai or the sweet cellar taste, you know. This bhura can be made and stored in the freezer for 6 months to a year, and you can just take it out whenever you want to make laddu next, or you want to dip your sweets into a sugar powder. You can use this bhura. It's very versatile, and this bhura is what gives it the laddu that you buy, the besan laddu that you buy from the store, that sweet crunch that you get in your laddus. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you should go to a halwai, a sweet shop, and buy besan laddus from him and try them. That sweet crystal crunch that you get in your laddus is what you get from bhura. So now let's see how to make this bhura. So here we have taken our sugar, 1 cup, right? So we take that in the pan. We take it in the pan and we'll add our 1/3 cup water to it and then let it melt. Okay. So here we go. Switch on the gas. This pan doesn't work on induction, I forgot. So here the sugar is starting to melt. Once all the sugar melts, add 1/2 teaspoon of ghee to this. Make sure all the sugar is coated in that water. And now I'm going to add like a 1/2 teaspoon ghee to it. Ghee helps this bhura separate out, right? So that's the reason why we need to add this ghee. Now you see the sugar is starting to melt. Let it turn into like a syrup, and then I will turn off the gas and keep stirring it. Okay, there's still some crystals. Let it melt fully. This process is important, so you need to see this nicely. I hope you can see it. Yeah. Be very careful. Once you start seeing that the sugar is starting to melt, the crystals are breaking and it's melting, it's become a homogeneous solution, switch off the gas. It's very important to switch off the gas, and that's what I've done. And now you just have to keep stirring it. Keep stirring it till you see that it becomes a white crystalline powder. Okay? Keep stirring. See, this is how it crystallizes. The sugar has to melt properly first. If you don't melt the sugar, first melt the sugar nicely. Make sure that all the granules are melted, and then switch off the gas and then keep stirring it. This process should not take more than 5 minutes. And then add, as soon as you switch it off, add little bit ghee, and then keep stirring it so this becomes like a loose powder. Now if you want another shortcut method and don't want or are scared of making this bura for some reason, or have never ventured into this arena of making bura, what you can do is, you know, batasha or the sugar candy that you get, batasa, like white color like this, during Holi and all we get it usually. You can just grind that into a powder and then you can use that as well. So now I'm going to let this cool a bit, and then I'll crush these or crumble these granules, these hard lumps. It should not be lumpy. It normally is powdery, but it also depends on what kind of sugar you've used. So if you've used very big crystal sugar, then it might become like this, but this is no worry. Once this cools down, just break the lump and we are fine. Now the basin should be at a level where you can touch it. So it should not be very cold. It will be difficult to roll your laddus. It should not be very hot. Don't add this sugar when the basin is hot. It will turn into liquid and then forget about rolling the laddus ever. So you have to add the sugar once the basin is warm and easy to touch. Alright? I wanted you to see how granular this is, the texture when you move this. Okay, let me just focus on it. Just switch on the lights here and just focus on this, the texture. You see, it's grainy. Okay, this is how it should be. Broken the sugar lumps, the big lumps, I've broken them into fine, so it becomes like this bura. Okay, you make bura from 1 cup of sugar, there's always extra, so measure out your 1 cup bura. Okay, we need 1 cup bura, right? And this remaining one, now you can bottle it up or put it in a Ziploc and freeze it. Now this basin is warm enough that I can touch it and I can handle it. So I am at this point, let's add the bura or the sugar powder to it. Okay, I've added the bura in it and now mixed it nicely. This has become like this. Now we'll start making our laddus. Take small portions, easy to just pop it in your mouth kind of portions. Let me move this around. With one hand, just roll the laddu and make it give it a nice round shape, and yeah, your laddus are done. Take another one, same. Make like a small portion, and just give it a nice round shape, and with one hand just go round and round, not too much pressure so it becomes round. Take it in the other hand and just go this way and put it, oops. Yeah, it's a little warm, so that's why it's sitting down, but later when it cools down it'll be fine. So just make it a nice round And here you go. So this way make all your laddus. Now if you think that this is a long procedure, I can't make it and I don't have so much time, or I'm not so patient, then I will tell you another shortcut or another trick. If you're in Singapore, my friend Radhika, who runs Kitchen Goddess, makes awesome besan laddus. You can go ahead and order from her. Trust me, they're out of this world. But if you want to give them a try, then please follow our recipe. Make sure that your besan is nicely roasted. Make sure that your besan is nice and cool, easy to handle, warm actually, not really cool or cold. Easy to handle when you're adding your bhura powder to it. And go ahead, have fun, add all the dry fruits that you please, and celebrate your Diwali with these yummy besan laddus. If you like today's recipe, then you know what to do. I don't need to remind you again and again. I wish and I hope and I pray you all have a lovely, happy, healthy, prosperous Diwali. Bye and take care.